Hello my lovelies, welcome back. So in today's video we're going to talk about the moon in opposition with Saturn in composite, or also Davidson charts. What does it mean if we have this with our partner, and what can we learn? Well, as you probably know, oppositions are not necessarily the easiest of aspects, the easiest of energies. They are asking us to really look in the mirror and accept what we see there. Now, there is no deal breaker aspect. There's only lessons, and some lessons are harder than others. And oppositions tend to be on the harder side. Now, before we get into the aspect, what is the moon? What does the moon stand for? What does the moon describe in a relationship chart? Well, the moon in composite tells us how the relationship is actually emotionally expressing itself, right? How are we interacting emotionally? Can we be emotional with each other? Can we express our emotions with each other? And then Saturn is the bigger lessons that we learn in this relationship. Saturn sets the boundaries. Saturn sets the obstacles that we then have to, overcome. And when Saturn sets the obstacle in the area of the emotions, then it can hurt. Again, not a deal breaker. It can, if we both are willing to look at ourselves and to see what we bring into this relationship, and if what we bring into this relationship is of healthy substance, and we have a chance to work on that. And by work on that, I mean work on ourselves and then relate differently in the relationship. Now, how is this aspect, or how can this aspect play out in the relationship? So initially, you may find it very difficult to blend your instincts and your intuitions, and also manifest your shared goals. You might not even see a shared goal, right? But both people might have completely different goals, and you're like, well, how do we bring them together, right? I instinctually want to do this, and the other instinctually wants to do that. What's the lesson here? Again, we always got to come back to that. What's the lesson here? And yes, sometimes for some of us, the lessons are too hard to learn. We have to separate, and maybe with the next partner, we are then ready to learn the lesson, right? It's not, nothing is wasted, right? I don't believe in that. No relationship is ever wasted. No time spent together with someone is ever wasted. You always learn something. And in this relationship, sometimes, sometimes people go their separate ways. They don't always find a solution for this directional issue they have, especially when it comes to their emotions, because again, the emotions are going to be involved here. When it comes to our shared goals, or the goals we don't share. Now, you both really have to learn to find the balance in this relationship. Otherwise, you will end up stifling each other, and specifically each other's emotions and the emotional expression, right? Like you might not even trust the other with your emotions, like being open emotionally, because you think, well, they're going to shut me down, or they just don't want that, they don't believe in that. You got to really both find a way to balance, first of all, the directional stuff, right? Like where you want to go, shared goals. And then also how you emotionally relate those goals, right? What's the emotion attached to each of your goals? Also, you may find it rather difficult to hold space for each other emotionally, and you're quick to jump into rational conclusion, right? You go to the rational side really quickly, and you might overlook that the other, might have some feelings about this situation. And you're like, yeah, but, it's fine because that's what I meant. And, look at it from this perspective. When the moon is involved, the rationality goes out the window. But when Saturn comes in, now Saturn wants to help us. Saturn wants us to learn something here. maybe also related to your emotions, right? Maybe some of this relates back to your past, to your upbringing, and you were always overlooked emotionally. Like, you know, no one held space for you. And now you attracted a partner that does exactly the same, or a partnership where you feel exactly the same so you can heal it, right? Because now you're an adult. Now you're an adult. You're not a child anymore. You're not dependent on your parents. You are able to allow yourself to have what you need and want emotionally. And that is something that you can learn in this relationship with your partner. But again, you both need to be on board. So this is a relationship that might bring you significant lessons when it comes to finding validation for your feelings, for both of you, right? Validation, like you want your feelings heard, you want to be seen emotionally. And also this relates to your unconscious desires. Again, we're coming back to the shared goals. What do you actually want? Are you allowing yourself to have it? Are you actually allowing yourself to have what you want? And what's in the way? Maybe this relationship can help you stand up for what you want. Learning to vocalize the desire. So at first, you know, you two might not really help each other manifest your desires because there's all this rational stuff in the way. And desires are rarely rational. Desires are attached to feelings and emotions. And very often they are unconscious, or we're not fully aware of them. And if we're aware of them, sometimes we don't want to admit them to ourselves and to others. But when you're in a relationship, you got to be fully in it. You got to be fully you, fully honest. Because otherwise, what's the point? What's the point? Like truly, what's the point? So not an easy pairing in a composite chart. But if you can stand the test of time here, which, you know, Saturn, the Lord of time, you eventually may be able to help each other to success. But you might have to work through a few hoops in this relationship. So if you have any questions about this aspect, feel free to ask. If you want your own reading, personal reading, relationship chart reading, you can book in the link in the description box. And anything else, feel free to ask, and I'll see you in the next video.